UFC light heavyweight fighter Anthony Rumble Johnson with us now live on Radio Row. Thanks to Bud Light, up for whatever. Rumble, what's up, baby?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
It's all
Great.
good. Now, of course, outside it's raining, but this is the part of Radio Row where now it's raining inside because the water is leaking right over here. So I just saw you take your jacket off. You might have to put it back on in a second.
Yeah. I see it's a little wet over here, but it's all good.
Now, I know that you can handle that because you may be the only person I've ever seen knock out a country. When you beat Gustafson, the whole place got quiet. It was amazing. You shut down a whole country.
You know what? I didn't realize that everybody got quiet. You know, wherever I fight, I usually have like 5 of my closest friends and family with me. And whenever they stopped the fight, I thought the crowd was still screaming, but it was me, my coaches, and my little crew. You know what I mean? And then after the fight, everybody was like, dude, the whole stadium was just silent.
I was at a party, and half the place was like, oh, Gustafson, he's the guy. He's taking Bones Jones to the limit. And the other half, and luckily this is half I was in, I was like, yeah, but it's Rumble, man. He just keeps getting better and better. How do you keep getting better and better?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I push myself every day in training. I just want to get better and better, you know, each and every day. But I'm just having fun with this. A lot of these guys take this job too seriously. Right. They let it control their lives, and I don't do that. I go to the gym, I train hard, and I leave, and I enjoy myself outside of the gym. You know, to me, if you're not having fun with this, you don't need to do it. And I think a lot of these guys aren't having fun with the way I am.
UFC light heavyweight fighter Anthony Rumble Johnson with Armen and Levack live on Radio Row in Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks to Bud Light, up for whatever. Rumble took on number 1 ranked light heavyweight fighter Alexander the Mauler Gustafsson in Stockholm, Sweden, and that is the hometown of Gustafsson, which is what Levack was just referring to. So Rumble's a big deal in every single country in the world except Sweden. They probably don't want to go back there.
The Sweden fans have been cool.
Really
cool. A couple of them have written me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and said,
"You blank." No,
they were like, yeah, they were like, we were cheering for Alex, but we're glad that you handled yourself the way you did after beating a guy like Alexander, and they just been really, really nice to me ever since.
Well, see, here's the thing
fight
that blows my mind about you, Rumble. You're 30 years old. I'm 31. Okay. At the age of 29, my knees started hurting in the morning for no apparent reason. When the weather got cold, my shoulder would hurt.
Sounds like my granddad.
Right? And that's how I feel. I got a receding hairline. I already opened up an IRA at the age of 27. You're 30 years old and you're beating people's ass. How do you do? I played the tuba and my body hurts.
I don't know, man. I like the competition. Anything that's kind of crazy, I'm down to try it. And you can't get any crazier, I think, than somebody's trying to punch you in the face and kick you in the mouth at the same time.
That's true.
Now, you beat the number 1. When do we find out? When are you going up against Bones Jones?
They're talking about May, but I don't have a set date yet.
Yeah.
Whenever they want me to fight, I'll be ready. I'm going to always come out there and do the best that I can do, no matter when, where, wherever it could be. It can be on the moon. I'm going to go out there and fight the best of my ability.
Can you beat him?
I believe I can beat him. I believe in my talent and my skills, and I know I work hard enough to get where I am right now. So I definitely believe I can beat him, but it won't be easy.
Now, Cormier just went up against him, and it was the biggest grudge match I think the UFC's ever promoted. You going to, take a swipe at him in the weigh-ins just to kind of, follow that up?
I don't need to do that. I usually do all my talking in the cage, and it's been showing what I do. If they talk, I just start swinging. That's usually in the cage, and hopefully this fight ends the same way my last one ended.
UFC light heavyweight fighter Anthony Rumble Johnson with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. When you're a known UFC fighter and you're out at the bar, you're out in public, how many hotheads come up to you and just try to shove you or instigate something? Because you're a fighter, man. How many drunk white boys like myself, shaped like a pear, at a bar think they could just tear you up?
Nobody's ever did that to me.
Really?
Yeah. But I also don't go places by myself.
That's smart.
I usually have 2 or 3 people with me. And even though I can probably whoop all of them ass at the same time,
damn right.
If something like that was to happen, I know that they would step in for me. But most importantly, we would most likely just walk away because we know we don't need that type of trouble on our hands. So nobody's ever did that. Most people are really cool. Wherever I go, I usually know like the bartenders or the manager or something like that. So they take very good care of me.
Are you excited to see Silva return tomorrow night?
Yeah, I am. I am. He's a legend. I remember meeting him before he even signed with the UFC, and nobody knew who he was, but I knew who he was.
Right.
You know, and I remember being in Reno, Nevada, and I was at a bar, and he was just fighting Chris Lieben, his first fight in UFC, and Chris Lieben was the man. You know, he just got off the Ultimate Fighter, and everybody was cheering for Chris Lieben, and I'm like, you guys have no idea what's about to happen to this guy. And as soon as the fight was over with, I was the only one clapping my hands, screaming. I was like, yes, I told you didn't know what you was talking about. And ever since then, you know, of course, he's just been tearing people up.
UFC fighter Anthony Rumble Johnson with Armen and Levack tomorrow night, UFC 183, live at the MG Grand. Silva versus Diaz. Who do you like in that fight?
I'm gonna go with Anderson, but Nick is crafty. You know, he's been pretty successful at 170, and just imagine how he's gonna be not having to lose the weight that he was losing to make 185. You know, I'm gonna go with Anderson because he's you know, my all-time favorite. But don't be surprised if Nick Diaz go and attack to that leg. If I was Nick, that's what I would do.
Right. Well, how hard is it, though? I mean, that injury was so terrible. How hard is it to come back from something like that?
I have no idea. I never had a
broken
leg.
Well, let's not find out.
So, I don't know. But, you know, anytime you break a bone in your body, it takes time to recover, you know, and heal the proper way. So I'm pretty sure Anderson did everything he needed to do to prepare for this fight. But right now I think it's a mental game for him to want to throw a kick. You know, I think he's going to be a little hesitant to throw a kick, but if I was him, I would just start throwing high kicks because you're not going to get your leg broken throwing high kicks.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, UFC fighter. Tell him about our movement.
We're bringing back the high five. It's called Revive the Five. We've seen all the fist bumps and crazy celebrations. Can I get a high five from you?
High five, baby.
My man.
Damn, dude,
high five, baby.
I like that. You looking
five.
good. And we're here because of Bud Light Up for Whatever. Take a Bud Light koozie.
Thank you.
And make it happen.
And I know I'm not supposed to say this, but get him in May. I want to see Jones go down.
I'm going to do my best. I definitely will do my best.
Perfect, dude. Awesome.
Thank you.